you all to the Sunday Bhagavad Gita classes. So we are doing the revision of the chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, and chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita is also known as Gita. The acronym is Gita. G is accepting the Guru, and I is identity. Our real identity is we are not the body, we are the soul. And 2 is two dharmas, and A is Atmarama, a person in Krishna consciousness. How does he act? How does he behave? So, in the previous session, we had a presentation on the topic of accepting the Guru. Shweta Mataji very nicely she presented, and she explained the significance of having a Guru. No matter we think we are capable, but we do need the guidance of the Guru and the senior Vaishnavas to uh, advance in Krishna consciousness. Like she also gave a very beautiful example how a child is dependent on the mother. How sometimes, the child is very beautifully asking, can you help me? The child doesn't have ego. The child is very happily taking the help of the guidance of the mother or the elders. But we, when we become adults, what do we think? We think we know everything. And today, with the chat GPT and AI, what do we think? If we have any question, where do we ask? We ask the chat GPT. We don't need elders anymore. So that's why we see even today the children are disoriented from parents. Previously, they didn't have phones. If, for example, from Bandup, if they have to go to Matunga, they have to ask the parents, which train I will take. Where should I go? I have to go to the college to write my exam center. How do I go? They feel, we were very valuable for them, to guide them in every walks of their life. But today they have the device in the hand, everything they can take. So where is the relationship coming? Where is the bonding happening, right? Even the students, they do, instead of asking teachers the question, they ask the chat GPT. And now today I heard that they have come with a program, for NEET and everything where, artificially you have a teacher in front and you interact with somebody who is not a person, that you see. So when we are reading Bhagavad Gita, when we are trying to understand, we understand the importance of having Guru in our life. So we need the guidance. That guidance will help us from the confusion to clarity. So Bhagavad Gita is a journey of Arjuna, who was very confused in the beginning of the battlefield about fighting due to the reasons on compassions, on loss of enjoyment, on fear of sinful activities and destruction of family traditions, which is very good on the material terms. But Krishna did not pat him and say that, oh, Arjuna, that's so great of you to think in terms of humanity, because Gita is beyond the material knowledge. It's about how to transcend this material world. The knowledge of Gita is much more than what you can get in any other colleges. Even the very first knowledge that, we are not the body, we are the soul, is higher than the knowledge that we get in IIT colleges. What is the use of having so much of education and not knowing your real identity? That I am not this body and I am the soul. The entire world is going on the gratification of our body, which is not going to be permanent, which is anyway going to be a temporary. So knowing that we are not the body, we are the soul, what do we do? What do we do? We feed our soul. How do we feed our soul?
By spiritually,
by spiritual practices, by chanting, by hearing, by remembering Krishna, by offering prayers. We have the Navavida Bhakti. So through this process, we are able to render the service to Krishna. And this is also nourishing our soul. So we all feel, some of us who have been in this path of Krishna consciousness for few years, aren't we seeing the difference within us before being in Krishna conscious and now how we are able to face the situations? Are we not feeling the inner happiness by connecting ourselves with Krishna?
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Is there anything called a boredom in our life? No. We have so much to do. If there is a time, we can do some extra rounds of chanting or reading or hearing.
Exactly, Mataji. Yes, true.
Somebody asks, how do you pass the time? We say, we don't have time to pass.
We don't have time. Somebody was asking me, what do you do over the weekend? I said, I'm not getting time.
Yeah. And not just we are sitting and wasting the time in some
Yeah.
reels or YouTube, but we are utilizing our time in our spiritual activities, which is connecting ourselves with our real, in our
Yeah.
constitutional position that we are all part and parcel of Krishna and we are his eternal servant. The duty of the
Some
servant is to please the
serve
master.
Krishna. Yeah.
So our master is Krishna, Jivere Swarupa Hoy, Krishnera Nityadas. So we are
Nityadas.
Nityadas. Nitya means eternally. We are always the eternal servant of Krishna. In the material world, if somebody is serving a company, you will be their servant until you're in that work. Until you're, like Mataji, you're working now. So
Yeah.
you must be serving your boss, your company, until you're in your work. After you get retirement, after you leave the company, do you have any relationship with that person? Even if
No.
he will even ask, can you help me to get this file done? No,
No,
you're
no.
completely cut off. They
Correct.
rather say that give all the files here. You should not have anything more about our company, right?
Yeah.
Submit
True.
everything and go, right?
Yeah.
And they also take the thing that you don't reveal any of your company's secret to anyone,
Yes.
the way it works, because that
Exactly.
is how it is. So you're completely cut off
Cut off.
here even though we are serving someone, but that relation is very temporary. But the relation with Krishna is eternal,
Always. Yeah.
always there. And that is well executed in the human form of life, where we have an intelligence to understand our relation with Krishna. Although we saw in the uh, Bhagavatam, like even in the animal species like Gajendra, he attained moksha in spite
Yeah.
of being in the animal body. But we know the history is he's just not an ordinary elephant. He was King Indradyumna, who has done some spiritual practice in the previous life, and that
Yeah.
helped him to remember Krishna during the time of crisis. And even though he was in the body of the elephant, he got Vaikuntha because he could remember Krishna. So, even in that case, because it was just a curse he had, but immediately he was delivered, even in the body of the elephant, because of his previous piety, Ajamila. Very, very sinful activities he performed. But before that, he was a Brahmana. He was executing his devotional service very beautifully even though he fell down, but because of his previous pious activity or previous devotional service, he could remember Krishna
Yeah.
in the time of the death, not directly, indirectly through the name of his son, but he called him out helplessly. So that helpless calling of Krishna, when we call out Krishna, sometimes we think, I should do my part, let Krishna do his part. That doesn't help. Even Draupadi, when she was first calling out Govinda, when during the Vastraharan, one sari, one pallu she was holding, and she took one hand and called out Krishna, Govinda, Madhava, and everything. Krishna did not come. Then she took both of her hands and helplessly she uh, said Krishna, Madhava. She called out to Krishna, and Krishna came. And Krishna said, he felt so indebted to devotees. Krishna also feel. Have to say, he said, there is one debt that I could never repay. The debt that Draupadi called me, in her in her crisis situation, she called out my name so intensely that I don't know how do I pay back the debt. How Draupadi called. See, when we intensify our prayers to Krishna, Krishna is reciprocating multifold times because Krishna is multifold in everything. We think we are doing more, but whatever we do, Krishna does much more than what we
Yeah.
can do to Krishna. So this is setting. We had the jnana that we are not the body, we are the soul,
We are the
and we are
soul.
entering the third division, which is two dharmas. And Uma Mataji will do the presentation on it. Please continue, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So the second chapter we'll get into the third part, that is the two dharmas, swadharma, that is a duty towards the family, and the second one is a parodharma, that is a duty towards the god. We will see in the two parts. One from text 31 to 38 talks about the swadharma, and we talks about one part, and then karma yoga we come to the second part of that. In text in the slokam 31 of the second chapter, Krishna further explains to Arjuna, he responds to him on the sinful reactions. Yeah, so he says very clearly in this is your duty as a kshatriya. The duty of a kshatriya is to protect his people, to protect his country, to protect his family. So since the duty of the kshatriya is to protect, is to fight, he should not be hesitating to fight. Yeah, so he should not have any emotions towards this, and the dharma of um, kshatriya is to fight. So you follow that the dharma is the right way of living,
So this
so
is
you have
mainly
to fight.
because Arjuna was fearful about the sinful activities by
Sinful
fighting
activities,
against his own
exactly,
relatives,
his response.
teacher, and grandfather. But
Yeah,
Krishna is saying that for a Kshatriya, following the dharma
yeah,
is important. If we don't follow the dharma, that is sinful. So
yeah.
when Arjuna thought fighting is sin, Krishna is saying that not fighting is a sin. So this shows that the importance for each and every one of us to do our prescribed duties. No matter whatever varna and whatever ashrama we are supposed to do our prescribed duties.
And for a kshatriya, the highest path towards dharma is actually to fight. Yeah, in slokam 32, Krishna further explains to him that this is an opportunity for you to, as a kshatriya, it's an opportunity for you to fight. Why does he say that? See, if Arjuna fights and if he loses it, or if he wins it, for example, he will be able to he'll be able to rule the kingdom. And if he loses this, there is no loss for him, because he is going to get into the heavenly planet. So it's always is an opportunity for him to fight. So Krishna further explains to him, saying that there is no worry, that you need not even worry uh, about
This
not to
is
fight.
mainly
Yeah,
because
because
Arjuna's one of the reason for not fighting is loss of enjoyment.
loss and sin
Therefore, Krishna
enjoyment.
is
Yeah,
saying that if you win, you're ruling the kingdom. If you lose,
correct.
you'll be going to heavenly planets. So,
Exactly.
what is
Yeah,
there to worry? Both are good.
yeah,
Even being an emperor of the entire Bharatavarsha, that's so great. Or going to heavenly kingdom is so great because it's not so easy to go to heavenly planets. We saw the
planet. Yeah,
criteria. One should
exactly.
not lie for 100 lifetimes. For us, one day, if you should not speak a single lie, that's a big challenge, right?
Mm.
So, getting into heavenly planets is not so easy.
Easy.
So, but Arjuna will get it because in
Yeah.
heavenly kingdom, if you talk in terms of enjoyment, the enjoyment is much higher than what we get. They say that the beauty of the Apsara, it surpasses the beauty of any Miss World or Miss Universe by at least 1,000 times.
Mm.
So it is in a different level. The gratification, the heavenly enjoyment is in a different level. Even in this material world, everybody is looking for enjoyment, right? They want to be in a nice place, they want to be in a nice environment, and they want to earn well, everything, so that you'll lead a very comfortable life. So that comfortness is much higher in heavenly planets.
Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. And basically following the dharma, again Krishna, see, in all these Krishna keeps explaining again and again, and he responds to the earlier one, saying that you not performing means it's like committing a sin. You not performing the duty as a kshatriya you're committing a sin. Okay. And he also further explains to him about, on the grounds of compassion, you say if you're avoiding the duty, that is not compassion. Okay, like, why does he say that? Because Arjuna has been fighting, uh, uh, again, he was actually fighting towards dharma. Like, he has fought against the demigods, he has fought against Shiva, like Mataji explained in the class. And also he has also got many benedictions. So there is no need for him to even think about that, like I'm committing sin or something. And he should not, and no way that Arjuna will get into hell. Yeah, Krishna further explains in the 34th chapter, 34th sloka, as he explains to him now here as a philosopher and as a friend, saying that you will not incur any sin. In fact, people will think you're not fighting because of compassion. People will start blaming you. They'll criticize you like such a good warrior, and you will be criticized for not fighting in the war. And
They people will think that Arjuna is fearful about saving his life. Seeing the
yes,
great generals like Bhima and Drona, he got scared. So just to protect his own life, he fled the battlefield. While Arjuna is not fighting out of compassion, people will not consider that to be a compassion. Rather, they will think that he
compassion.
is a darpok. And
That's right.
he just left the battlefield, fled the
Yeah,
battlefield. Because who will come to the battlefield and live? Leave.
yeah,
Either they shouldn't have committed for the war itself, and after
yeah,
being committed, after the both the armies facing each other, if somebody is leaving the battlefield, they will think that he is a darpok. Imagine
yeah.
a student coming to the exam, and once the paper is distributed, the student says, I can't write the paper, I'm having stomach pain, I'm having this. Will anybody accept?
Yeah.
Either it wouldn't have appeared. That is out of fear. They think that Arjuna fled the battlefield out of fear of his life. So this compassion will also be not taken in a right way by people. Even though
People.
Arjuna considers a compassion, others may not consider that to be a compassion. So Krishna is refuting the statements uh, given by Arjuna in the chapter 1 for not fighting. So each and every statement what Arjuna made, Krishna is
Is
refuting.
answering to the
Yeah,
question. Yeah.
answering to that. Yes.
And Krishna mentions here very clearly that duty only protects your dignity. Means you have to perform your duty, and that protects it. Running away from the duty, forget about you when you're talking about the relation, you're talking about your brothers, sisters. They themselves will not understand your emotion, Arjuna. Okay, they will not understand your emotion. In fact, they will think you are a darpok,
Covered.
and it
Yeah.
is they will not think that on compassionate grounds you're exiting. They will think you're a darpok and you're running away. So the purpose of you thinking it's on compassionate grounds, that will not be understood by Duryodhana or Karna, or for that matter even your grandfather will think that Arjuna has run away because of fear. So don't allow that to happen. He again mentions very clearly in the 36th sloka also, you should not run away. See what Krishna is telling you, don't run away from your duty. Perform your duty. Yeah. And again in the next set of, he will be talking about the karma yoga. He's saying perform your duty. Don't talk about any emotions or here final verdiction he's giving to Arjuna here, like you perform. Okay, that is the highest mode of your duty. Don't think about anything else. You have to perform for this. So don't think about anything else. Yudh means fight, and as a Kshatriya, you need to fight. In the next part, like this
So,
in the
Mataji, just
38th
one
to
second. I'll just consolidate this. So, Krishna is
yeah,
more talking about Swadharma because generally, when we see people perform rituals, karma
duty.
kanda, so that they have a better life, they lead a life with prosperity and everything. So, on the same term, Krishna is speaking. Krishna is mostly speaking in terms of enjoyment. He did not speak about connecting to Krishna or in a higher level. So first he's just talking about in terms of
Yeah,
enjoyment, and later on Krishna will say, just
yeah,
don't think that these enjoyments are going to help you a lot. This is also going to be temporary, and while you perform the work, he is asking you to connect to him. That's more important. So slowly from karma kanda, Krishna will be introducing karma yoga, and that is
yoga.
what we are doing third chapter in detail. But here Krishna introduces this topic of karma yoga, how to work for Krishna. Karma
Yeah,
yoga means
it's
working in Krishna consciousness, means working without expecting any results.
anything.
You do karma kanda sacrifice because you have some motive. You are having some problem in the life, so you do some sacrifice like some Ganpati Homam or Navagraha Homa
Mm.
because those grahas are giving us some trouble in the life. So to mitigate the trouble, we are doing some yajna. But that has we are expecting something out of it, some
Yeah,
benefits out of that performance. But
exactly.
how we are supposed to do the work, not expecting any kind of results. That is very important. The main difference between the karma yoga and karma kanda is karma yoga, you're performing your duties but not expecting any results. Knowing
Results.
that, Krishna is the cause of everything, and we need to, dovetail our duties to him. At the same time, in karma kanda, You're performing some rituals, but for your own self interest. But that is better than not doing anything. At least you know that there is a higher power. Without the higher power, we may not be even able to enjoy. So, generally, when somebody is stepping into the yoga ladder, I mean, coming into this path, it starts from Karma Kanda process. And then slowly one goes to Karma Yoga. Because even the Purushartha say Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. By when you're following dharma, you get artha. When you get artha, when you get money, you enjoy with that money. Kama, you enjoy. Kama means all kind of enjoyments. And what happens? After some time, the enjoyment, it will not be the same. Even when you grow old, when you become 50 plus, 60 plus, when you're diabetic, will you be able to eat whatever you want to eat? No.
No,
Your body will pain. Will you be able to go wherever you want to go? No, you
no.
cannot walk, you cannot do. So we see that slowly, our senses, our enjoyment may
Yeah.
not happen. Then, a person looks for liberation, for moksha. But today, the unfortunate situation is with the evolution of technology and the phones, the people who are in the senior citizens very comfortably watching serials and movies and everything instead of understanding the real goal of life. Today, we don't have even dharma or moksha. What do we have? Only artha and kama. Earn
Yeah.
money and enjoy. That's all. The Purusharthas are also not followed. But we see how Krishna is paving us the way from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga. Yes, Mataji. Continue, Mataji.
See, in the 38th shloka, Krishna mentions about the duality. Okay, now just concentrate on the Karma Yoga. He starts from the Karma here in this shloka. He talks about the Karma Yoga and he says that the world is full of duality. Sorrows is there, happiness is there, loss is there, gain is there, happy, everything. You have a victory is there, then there's a failure, everything is there. But what you need to do, all your activities you surrender it to Krishna. You think about him, don't worry about the outcome. He's talking about the outcome here.
We
Okay,
see
don't
how
talk
Krishna, just few slokas before, he said, whatever you do, it's for
beauty.
enjoyment. The
Correct.
same Krishna who spoke about enjoyment, now he is telling that don't do things just for enjoyment. Do things for the sake of doing things, not just for enjoyment.
And don't
You
think
see
about
how
the end
Krishna is
result.
changing, he's
Transforming.
increasing his thing. Yeah.
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 It is for us only actually. This is Krishna is telling everything for us,
Yeah,
for our brain.
exactly. Yeah.
In the 39th sloka, the analysis of the body on the soul has been explained very nice in the Sankhya Yoga, the knowledge of the soul, how it is. Yeah, it starts by teaching. We teach about the Karma Yoga. So do everything, do the right thing without any attachment. Your attachment towards that. So here they differentiate between the material and the spiritual here. If you do anything for the sake of, like what Mataji said, like if you're doing something, say I want to pass the exam, go to Ganpati and you'll siddhi, see that is only is attached to this material body. But if you want to go beyond it, go to the spiritual world, get into the bhakti, okay, that is the memory always remains, like we saw it in the Gajan
Gajendra Moksha,
Moksha,
the
Gajendra
elephant.
Moksha.
Gajendra, yeah.
Yeah. So every spiritual progress that you make, there is a memory in that, in the soul. Yeah. But the material
Yeah, there is
pleasure,
an
there
eternal,
is no.
it is an eternal account. We create an eternal account. Today, whatever chanting we are doing, whatever hearing we are doing, whatever devotional service we are performing to Krishna, that goes into our eternal bank account.
Yeah.
So what we are doing now, it's there is no loss at all. Everything in this path of bhakti is always a gain. There is no loss at all. But in the material world, the greatest gain one may get, like probably like Elon Musk, the first trillionaire, there's no guarantee that after he leaves the current body, he will be a trillionaire again. Or first of all, there's no guarantee whether he will get a human form of life either. It all depends on his karma. Maybe because of his previous pious activities, he became the greatest,
Yeah.
the millionaire or the trillionaire in the world for the first time. That is because of the pious activity one accumulated. Nothing happens by chance. Everything happens because of our own actions. Nothing happens by
Correct.
chance. Yeah.
So here in the 40th sloka, it's Krishna mentions very clearly. If you think of the Krishna consciousness, it's even beyond the body. Yeah, it continues. Okay, it's beyond the body. The soul
For
is
the
there. So
beautiful
the
sloka, the 40th sloka is, which is worth memorizing. Neha Bikramanasosti
Nasus
Pratyavayona Vidyate Swalpamapyasya
Swalpa
Dharmasya Trayato Mahato Bhayat.
Jayate
Even a little bit
Mahoto
of dharma one is
Dharma.
doing, that will help a person to Trayato Mahato Bhayat, come out of the greatest danger. What is the
Yeah,
greatest danger? Can be going to the animal species of life.
yeah.
That's why we see the Sankirtan devotees out of compassion. They go every places. In fact, in foreign countries like Europe, US, and other places, they chant in front of the bars. So at least, that person is hearing the Mahamantra. And even if he gives some small donation, he gets a book. He's doing some dharma. And that dharma will protect him from going down in the next species of life. So a devotee doing a sankirtan outside in the streets, outside the temple, is out of compassion.
Compassion.
Because not everybody will come to temple. Do you see a person who is in the bar is going to come to the temple? No. So just that's what the Sankirtan movement started by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the most compassionate. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradvishe Namaha. So in a very out of great compassion, Krishna is giving this Krishna Prema freely to everyone. So we are in that age where Lord Sri Krishna came in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the most compassionate form. So now that we have got a little bit of, bhakti in us, we should also try to give this to others, not just keeping it by ourselves. Give some kind of the benefit to others also. So this is a beautiful sloka. We know Bharat
Shloka.
Maharaj, how he was a deer in his previous life. And then he became a Jada Bharata. And because as a King Bharata, he did a lot of pious activity. And he got, in the third time when he was a Jada Bharata, he went back home, back to Godhead. So whatever devotional service we do, it
The
always remains
memory.
with us. Yes, Mataji, continue.
In the 41st sloka, the purport, I just saw here it mentions, see, here we have to, the Krishna again further says that you focus. He he puts the importance of focusing yourself, yeah, focusing towards having a steady mind, towards bhakti. You need to have a steady mind. You should have a determined mind, and on your what you need to do. Don't keep your mind scattered here and there. So you want to take a decision, go up in front, that takes you back. So for this, we purport made the Srila Prabhupada, he mentions very clearly, like you need to have a bona fide guru. See, then you get support to take you further. How beautifully in the
Yeah,
purport he has
Ekeha
explained.
Kurunandana. Stay
Yeah,
single pointed. Don't be
single
multi-branch. Like we see people, Monday they go to Shiva temple, Tuesday they go to Hanuman, Wednesday they go
Ganpati.
to
Yeah,
Narayana temple, Thursday
yeah,
they go to Sai Baba, Friday they go to Devi temple, Saturday again, they go somewhere, and Sunday they worship Durga. But don't be, scattered. Be
yeah.
single focused.
Focused.
That's
Yeah,
very
single
important.
focused.
And even we know when we take a concave mirror, when we harness the sunshine, that can even burn the paper. But the same sunshine, when it is scattered, can it burn anything? No. But when
Nothing.
we are making it focus, the sun rays, when they come together, they get the capacity even to burn the paper. So
Yeah.
it tells us to remain single pointed.
Single.
Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana. Even a businessman, you see, whatever he does, his mind will be keep on running on the business. Everywhere he
Money.
goes, he will think that what can I do so that I can do some business here. He may appear normal, but his mind will be business
Yeah.
minded. So, like that. But when we are Krishna conscious, we should always remain Krishna conscious and remain single focused. That's very important. How to remain focused and determined in Krishna consciousness. And that can only happen when one accepts a guru. A guru
Guru.
guides
Correct.
the disciple towards this path.
Path.
Without that,
Correct.
it's very
Exactly.
difficult to remain the single focus. See, one can take the
Single
book,
focus.
one can read Bhagavad Gita. It will definitely help. But when you're reading Bhagavad Gita, when you're learning Bhagavad Gita from a guru and through the parampara, then you are able to live through the Bhagavad Gita. And it's not just reading and understanding, right?
True, Mataji. Very true.
And yes,
It's like
Mataji.
any storybook only we keep reading. We don't understand the essence of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. In the 42nd and the 43rd sloka, now Krishna here warns Arjuna saying that don't get distracted and don't run behind rewards. Yeah. Material, the success, this pleasure, all this status, all this is are very materialistic and it is very temporary. And if you are in this running behind this reward, see, this will keep on taking you to the rebirth, punarapi panam maranam punarapi jananam. So the desires keeps on, you get stuck up with the desires and it keeps on taking you to one after the other. So here actually Krishna warns him in this 42 and 43rd sloka.
Mainly, the same Krishna says,
Yeah.
Vedesha sarver ahameva vedyo vedanta kritveda videha chaham. Krishna is a compiler of all the Vedas. But he himself
Yeah.
says, don't go behind the words of Vedas. Because
Vedas.
Vedas are mainly, talking about
Exactly.
fruitive activities. You do such and such thing, go. Don't get enamored. Don't get enamored by that. Whereas, just do your duty. Don't run behind the illusionary life. That's what Krishna, because the more we run, we will be in the cycle of repeated birth and death.
Birth and death.
So now Krishna is giving the higher knowledge through this.
And in the 44th sloka, while he's talking about the spiritual focus, he's telling us understand the real purpose of your life. The real purpose for us, as Mataji mentioned, is who am I? What am I? Why am I here for? And what is my relationship with Krishna? That should be your should be your purpose.
The main
If
thing
you have
Krishna says in 44th sloka is we cannot be both material and spiritual. So the more we are attached to the material world, we cannot be attached to Krishna. Like for example, you are rowing the boat very nicely, but the boat is anchored. Can the boat take you anywhere? Rowing the boat is doing the bhakti, doing chanting, doing hearing. These are all the process of bhakti. At the same time, you're attached, you're anchored to material enjoyment. Then will we advance? No, an anchored boat cannot go anywhere. So these material attachments, one has to come out of the material attachments by the process of bhakti. After coming to the bhakti process, we should not be too materially attached. That will not help us to advance in Krishna consciousness. That's very important. Like you are setting the fire and you're also putting the water on it. Will the fire be there? So setting fire is doing bhakti and putting water is stopping the bhakti. This is not going to help us. Okay. Yes, Mataji, go ahead, Mataji.
In the 45th sloka, like what Mataji has explained about the Vedas in the 43rd chapter, here again he mentions the Vedas mainly deal only with the three modes of gunas. Yeah. Now we should go beyond these qualities, like beyond these gunas. Be steady, be focused, be spiritually attached, and that is what he mentions in the 45th sloka. Now,
Because
here
every
Krishna
person
also
acts according to the modes of nature. So Vedas further enhances our to enjoy, to be in the modes of the nature. So go beyond that. Don't be in with the three modes of nature. Go beyond the three modes of nature. That's what Krishna is saying.
See, he also mentions about the detachment, Mataji. Yeah, detachments and stay focused. You have to be detached with the consequences. Just be focused on what you need to do. Why he says that? Yeah, so because if we are attached to the Krishna consciousness, yeah, the 46th sloka it is mentioned very clearly saying that like we have God, Krishna is willing to give us a big ocean, yeah, and big ocean, and we want to just be in a small well, yeah. So the taste in the taste of water in the small well is much less when we compare to the big ocean. So Bhagavan Krishna is saying, I'm ready to give you the big ocean. That is, when you are attached to me, just focus and do your work and be attached only to Krishna conscious. The the pleasure is more, but you are being materialistic, you become only like a small drop of water. So which is better? The ocean is
Because
better
when we are
or
serving Krishna, everything comes by its way. For example,
yeah,
in the
with
villages,
foods.
there are many wells. Each well, one well is for bathing, one well is for washing clothes, one well is for cleansing utensils, one well is for doing the puja rituals. There are so many wells. But instead, if you have a river, the river can serve all the purpose. You don't need 10 different wells for 10 different purpose. When there is a river, that means the purpose that is solved by the river will automatically be solved by the well. So why do we have to go for a well when we can get the river? So when we are serving Krishna, the person behind the Vedas, then everything is fulfilled. Even dharma, artha, kama, moksha, they all surrender to bhakti. When you're in bhakti, everything comes by its way. One doesn't have to endeavor for small things. That's what Krishna is saying. This is also a very beautiful sloka. Yavanartha
Beautiful slogan.
udapane sarvatra
Yeah.
samplutodake tavana sarveshu
Tavana
vedasya
Tarvesha Vedisha
brahmanasya vijanata.
Brahmaneshas Vijayata.
Yeah. Our next sloka is a very famous sloka. What is
Yeah,
the name?
again, see here it talks about the so focus on your action and don't wait for the results. Let it happen. You have control of your action, but you don't have control of your results. For example, if you're studying for your exam, for that matter, yeah, you study for your exam. Studying for the exam preparation, how you need to get up in the morning, you study, how you that is your duty. What is the end result, what is your marks, that is not in your hands, that is left to the whoever is correcting it. Same thing happens is for our actions and in the spiritual path. You are in the duty that you do all your duty. If suppose today I'm doing the presentation of a Bhagavad Gita, I have told in the morning prayers, I've already told ki I'm just talking about Bhagavad Gita in the presentation that I have in front of me. But how I'm going to say, what I'm going to say, I have done one, two revisions I've seen, but I leave it to you. How you want to tell me that end result, I'm not bothered. Like I do that. So everything that you do, and if you're chanting also Maha Mantra, don't expect anything in result. Like, okay, if I'm doing 16 rounds today, I will get, today my day will be good. Don't do that. Do it because it's your, do that. It is
It
just
is
for
our
Krishna. You're
duty.
serving
It is our
Krishna.
duty. Chanting the
Yeah, it is
names
your
of Krishna
duty.
is our
And
duty.
then, and performing your duty without any results, that is the highest thing that you
Without
can
attachment to
achieve.
the result. Just do our duty
Attachment to
without
result.
expecting any result. At the same time, the next line he say, just because you don't want to expect any result, don't be without doing anything. Don't
Anything.
be
So
akarmani. That is
here,
also very important.
exactly.
Because
So it
I
is
should not
explained.
expect any result. Don't be
Yeah,
without doing anything. We are supposed to
so
do our duty.
yeah.
So
So the
don't escape
Mataji has
from the
explained
duty.
to us. Mataji has explained to us the essence of the karma yoga. She has explained to us the karma yoga, karma, vikarma, and akarma.
Karma.
That has been explained here. Here, the karma is you perform the prescribed duty and don't expect anything. Just leave it to the Almighty, yeah, the Supreme Brahma. The vikarma, it talks about the without any sanction of the authority, you do the duty. Yeah, I think Mataji here. I think
Akarma
example we can vikarma. What is the
is all
example we
the
can
four
take?
regulative principles like
Ah,
intoxication, meat eating,
correct, correct, correct,
illicit
correct, correct.
relation, gambling. These
Example.
are all the vikarma, forbidden
Yes, yes, yes.
activities. We are not supposed to
Forbidden
do the
activity. Yeah.
forbidden
It's not
activities.
authorized, yeah. And the
Authorized.
karma is not, you're just lazy, don't do anything. Because I will do that. I will get into sinful action. So you
No,
don't do
Mataji,
anything.
akarma is not that. Akarma is doing duty towards
Not
Krishna.
performing,
No,
not,
Mataji.
oh,
Akarma
sorry.
is not inaction. Should not be considered inaction. It is that do your activities for the pleasure of Krishna. Akarma is
Oh,
also called as bhakti karma. It should not
but,
be because we can't be without inaction. Now, in this chapter of Karma Yoga, we will further hear what Krishna is saying. One can't remain inactive even for a second. Even our breathing is an action. How can one remain inactive? The real
correct,
inactiveness
okay.
is doing the work for the pleasure of Krishna. That is the real inactiveness, nothing else.
Okay.
Okay,
Sorry,
Mataji?
then
Yeah.
my mistake.
Akarma means inaction, but actually speaking, one can't be without any action. As long as we live, even breathing is an action. But the action becomes inaction when it is done for the pleasure of Krishna. For example,
Oh,
karma. There are people who are doing annadan, who are educating people, who are opening hospitals. That is all pious karma. They will get some benefits because you have done something good for others. But this akarma, for example, you're donating for a temple construction, you're distributing prasadam, you're distributing books, so you're engaging your Lakshmi in that. Because you have engaged your money in temple construction, you may not get the benefit out of it. That will directly take you to spiritual world. Do you understand? You are
Yeah.
instrument to give Krishna a place. Because of your donations, Krishna got a place where he can, where many people can come to him. So when we are giving to Krishna, Krishna ensures that we get a place in his abode. Do you understand?
Mm.
So, but his abode is different. You won't feel it here. So the akarma is directly taking us back home, back to Godhead. You
Back
may
home.
not
Okay.
get the benefit immediately. Is it
Okay.
clear, Mataji, to
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
you? Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. Sorry,
Or the
my
easiest way
notes
to
were
remember
wrong. So
akarma is in the bracket write as bhakti karma.
bhakti karma, everything.
That
Yeah.
becomes very easy.
Easy.
Doing everything
Okay.
for the pleasure of Krishna becomes akarma.
Okay. So further in the 48th sloka, Bhagavan Krishna, he comes here, he talks about the yoga. What is yoga? Yoga is doing your duty and don't think and be attached to all these success or failure or anything, and you single focused, and you think that whatever happens, let it happen. It's in equanimity. That is called yoga. Now, these days, yoga
No,
is
that is
different,
just a
but
bodily gymnastic.
body
Prabhupada,
level.
many
But
time in
what
his classes, even 50 years back, he said that today yoga has become a body gymnastic. No, yoga means connecting to the God without expecting any result.
anything
Doing
in
the
disturb?
work equipoised. Yeah.
Yeah. This
See, in the
concludes your.
summer, when we are cooking in the home, it's very difficult. We almost have a shower in the kitchen while we are cooking. But we are
Exactly.
not cooking because, the family will praise us, the family will
Yeah.
do us. We are doing it because it is our duty to perform.
Yeah.
Whether it is hot, whether it is cold, we are doing it as a
Cold.
duty, right? Not
Exactly.
expecting
Yeah.
that family will glorify our cooking or anything. We just do because of our own duty. Even
Exactly.
if they say, the salt is missing, the chili is missing, this is not good. Next day, will we stop cooking? No. So that is that success or failure, whether it comes out good or not come out good. We just carry
Yeah.
our duties.
Duty.
That's very
If
important.
you're maybe in the winter season, we feel it is cold, we just see you have to perform the duty, keeping when you keep him in Krishna in the center. So when it is hot, even it is cold, it is winter, it is summer, you still get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and you get up or whatever the time as per. If it is winter, you don't just put on your bedsheet and go to sleep. You still do
The
whatever it is. You
Mahakumbh,
just
usually it happens in the month of Jan, Feb.
month of wind. Yeah.
The water is very, very cold, but people do go there at 1 or 2
Yeah.
o'clock, 3 o'clock. They take a dip
Yeah.
because it's a pious bath. They do not put heater on the water, take out some water from there, take it to your bathroom, heat the water and bath. No, right? So that is the thing. Just do your duties. And
In the
49th
49th
sloka is very important,
is,
Mataji, because that
yeah,
becomes a link for the third chapter itself.
exactly. So he's saying here, when you do any actions when you do any actions expecting something in return, that is very inferior. It is not the right thing. When you do it with wisdom, like Krishna, and be attached to whatever happens, that is a superior. And he explains here again and again about the Buddhi Yoga. Okay, he explains here the transcendental loving service to Krishna is the highest thing, and he keeps on putting it in the 49th sloka here. Uh, yeah, so
So he is saying that
don't
keep
wait for
all the
any.
abominable activities away. Just remain fixed and
Yeah,
in the consciousness towards me and surrender to me. So keep all abominable activities, means all forbiddable activities, abominable activities away. So Arjuna will misunderstand this. He thinks that, fighting in the war is an abominable activity because there's a lot of killing happening, lot of bloodshed
yeah,
happening. So when Krishna says, keep the abominable activities away, why should I fight in the war? So first Arjuna was reluctant to fight because of his own reasons. Second,
Correct.
after hearing Bhagavad Gita also from Krishna, philosophically also he becomes confused and he was again reluctant to fight. So that's very important to understand the philosophy in the right way, not in the
Yeah.
wrong way.
Wrong way.
Yeah.
Here
Already
again, and
Gita is finished in second chapter. Whatever Krishna wants to
yeah,
say, he finished.
he's
But
already
Arjuna
told.
is asking further questions so that people do not get
Yeah.
confused.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the 50th sloka, again he mentions the he
The
talks about
benefits
the
of Buddhi
yoga
Yoga.
again. The
He talks
yeah,
about four benefits in 50, 51, 52, and 53. What are the benefits of performing the Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti
okay. He's
Yoga?
saying
Yeah. Yeah.
first you get your freedom from the good and bad actions that is there. Yeah, the benefits of the Buddhi Yoga. Then don't have your freedom from repeated birth and death. Then you don't then you understand what is the relationship between you and Krishna, and what is the end result where you go back to Godhead, you go to Krishna. So he mentions very clearly and very nicely, he mentions the Buddhi Yoga. And he concludes this in this the dharma,
Division. Yeah.
the division, saying that don't have any confusion, be clear, have the clarity. What is the clarity? That your it has to be single focused, everything he is mentioning, and don't be disturbed. You don't be disturbed, single focused, and when you stay focused, you have the clarity and you achieve the goal. And what is the goal? The goal is to go back to Godhead, go back to Krishna. So that is the, so he is mentioned here about, he talks about the samadhi here
Being
in the
established
50.
in our real constitutional position. Our real position is
Yes,
we are part and
we are
parcel of
the
Krishna. We are eternal servant of Krishna. That
servants
is
of
our real
Krishna.
position. Like, for
Yeah,
example, wherever we travel, we feel good when we come back home. So, but
yeah,
our real home is not
yeah,
this. In the
yeah.
material world, we think so far that we are this home and we think we are happy. But our real home is spiritual world with
Word.
Krishna. So that's our real world. So be remain in our constitutional position. Understand the real goal of life is to go back home,
To
back to
go
Godhead.
back to
And
Godhead.
don't get, become indifferent to Vedic rituals. Vedic rituals are generally, they just help you to have a more comfortable life or to fulfill your desires in a dharmic way. However, that also gives repeated birth and death. That will not help one to establish in our constitutional position. Our real position is we are the Jivera Swarupa Hoy, Krishnera
Krishna
Nityadas. We are
Nityadas.
all his eternal servants and we should work accordingly. Thank you so much, Mataji. You have given a very nice presentation. You have taken, yes, that's why this helps to understand because
Yeah,
sometimes, there is little bit of misunderstanding on our karma. I'm happy
yeah.
that, it got clarified today. Other
Thank you,
than that,
thank you.
everything was good. There was proper understanding other than the karma because translation
Yeah,
wise, it is inaction. But actually speaking, nobody can be inactive in
yeah.
any way. It has to be docile to Krishna. That's the thing. Okay, Mataji. So we will do the last division very precisely. So now Arjuna is asking, Krishna spoke in length about the Buddhi Yoga. Now Arjuna is saying, how do we identify a person who is in Krishna consciousness? Like, for example, we identify a person whether he is rich or poor by his lakshana, the
Yeah,
way one dresses, the way one looks, we can understand that this person is rich, this person is poor, right? And we can understand if we are healthy, by our symptoms, we know we are healthy. If we are sick, by our symptoms, we know that we are sick. So, how do we identify a Krishna conscious person? Lakshan, how do you identify? So, how does he speak? How does he sit? How does he talk? So, what kind of languages he use? This is what Arjuna is asking to Krishna. Very, very clever questions. You have been talking so philosophically, but practically, how do we identify such a person, right? It's very important. We have to understand how a person is Krishna conscious, not just by putting tilak or kanti, but by his behavior, the way he carries out himself. So, in the way, Krishna is replying to Arjuna's questions, and the first thing he is saying that he comes out of all varieties of sense enjoyment. So, the first symptom of a Krishna conscious person is he is out of sense gratification. Whatever he does is not to enjoy his own senses, but to make Krishna enjoy, to give pleasure to Krishna's senses. Sarva upadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevana bhakti ruchate. Whatever a devotee does is he does activities to please Krishna, to
Please,
please
Krishna.
Krishna's senses, not his own senses. So
Senses.
then we understand. And he is out of all mental concoctions. Like some
Mm.
people think maybe God is like this, maybe God like this. There are so many God. Maybe Ganesha is a supreme God, maybe Shiva is a supreme God, maybe this, maybe that. No. But in the Shastras, Krishna says that Aham Sarvasya Prabhava Matta Sarva Pravartate. I am the supreme God of all the material and spiritual world. And in the seventh chapter, he said, Matta Parataram Nanyat Kinchinasti Dhananjaya. There is nobody greater than me. So when Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita and in Bhagavatam, it is given the personality of Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, then we need to understand that and surrender and not doing things with our own mental concoction. So a devotee does not speculate. A devotee follows the Shastras. Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. What is our GPS? Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra.
Guru
He
Sad.
doesn't contemplate, okay, if somebody wants to preach Krishna consciousness, he goes, okay, what did Prabhupada say? How did the Acharyas do? Let me follow their footsteps. He doesn't invent his own ways of doing things. Then it may not work or it may mislead. Rather, working is different thing, and second thing is misleading the philosophy. That is also very dangerous. And he is not disturbed out of threefold miseries like Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik,
Adi
Adhyatmik. Whatever is the situation, he remains fixed. He's
fixed.
not disturbed with his mind. He's not disturbed if others are giving him trouble, or
Exactly.
he's not disturbed by any natural calamities. Okay, now that, okay, there's a weekend, there is water in the road. So devotee is not very sad, I can't go anywhere. So he can sit in the home, we
Super.
can chant, we can hear, we
Exactly.
can make a nice boga and offer it to
Yeah.
Krishna. We can make the home
Exactly.
as a temple. So he's
Yeah.
not, we are disturbed by threefold miseries, always calm and peaceful. And whatever good or bad, he is not affected. Devotee does not talks about politics. Okay, this government is good, this is good. No, whatever good or bad, he just does his duty because it is just our duty to do. And one very beautiful analogy Krishna has given is the tortoise. Whenever there is a dangerous situation, what does the tortoise do? The tortoise withdraws all its limbs.
All
So,
its
similarly, a devotee in an unfavorable situation, what does a devotee does? A devotee withdraws all his senses, doesn't eat whatever food is being served, doesn't hear whatever useless thing that is being placed. So he withdraws his senses. But when the devotee is in a temple, all his senses are open. He hears Mahamantra, sings, chants, accepts prashadam. But in an unfavorable situation, like how the tortoise withdraws the limbs, so the devotee, he withdraws his senses. That is very important. How to control our senses, because without sense control, one cannot advance in Krishna
achieve
consciousness. That is
Krishna
very important.
consciousness.
And it is
Exactly.
not very easy to control the senses. So Krishna is saying, Rasavarjam rasobhyasya param drishtva nivartate. Once you develop the higher taste, then the lower taste will automatically
Yeah.
go away.
Exactly.
Without developing the higher taste, the lower taste cannot go.
You will
For the
not be
people
able
who
to.
are accustomed to sense enjoyment, you tell don't do this without understanding the philosophy, without chanting, without accepting Krishna Prashadam, without hearing about Krishna. You just tell them to come out of their bad habits, they cannot come. But once you are tasting Krishna Prashadam, then you will automatically stop eating the other karmi food. They will stop eating non-veg. Like that, you will stop eating. Many devotees who have been eating uh, meat before coming to Krishna consciousness, after hearing the Bhagavad Gita, automatically they give up. Nobody forced, because you develop the higher taste. When you
Higher
develop the higher taste, the lower taste will automatically go
automatically.
away. So that is very important. That's why the Govindas, the tag is Govindas, the higher taste. Because, even today, the Govindas, the Juhu Govindas, is one of the very famous restaurant, top 20 restaurants in Mumbai because of the taste. Many people come on Sundays just to eat. They may not take darshan. But by taking Krishna Prasadam, which is non-different from Krishna, they are getting some Bhakti Bija, right? Unknowingly, they are taking some prasadam, right? That's why Prabhupada, gave this program of starting the restaurants, not, to make profit or to do. It is mainly to benefit the people by offering the Krishna prasadam. And the
Prasadam.
next, Krishna is saying, even though the senses, you know, it is very difficult to control the senses. We will see in the third chapter where Krishna is speaking about the mind is superior to senses and the intelligence is even superior to mind. Even though the senses in the lower level, but still the senses are so strong that it can even carry the mind of a person with who is with intelligence. So, like we can see the small baby, the small baby is very weak. The baby cannot do anything. But we see that once the small baby doesn't sleep, cries, the entire family is affected, right?
Yeah.
What strength the small baby has? Nothing. So even though the senses are in the inferior situation compared to mind, but the senses are so strong that it can divert our mind and intelligence. So we should be very careful in controlling our senses. We should not be
Sense.
anything. Even a man of discrimination can get carried away by the senses. And the following sloka, Krishna is saying that we have to keep our senses in full control. It can be only happening when we are dovetailing our senses in serving Krishna's senses, like
Krishna.
Ambrish Maharaj. Everything that
Yeah.
he did was for Krishna. He used his eyes to see the deity of Krishna. He used his nose to smell the tulsi offered to Krishna, tongue to accept Krishna prasadam. He bowed down and he used his hands to clean the Krishna's temple, legs to go to the temples of Krishna. So, likewise, we have to engage all our senses in the service of Krishna. When we do that, then our senses will automatically come into control. Otherwise, artificially, one cannot control our senses because it is very strong. And in the sloka number 62 and 63, Krishna is talking, giving the anatomy of anger. Why a person
Hmm.
gets angry.
Krodha.
So, dhyayato vishayan pusta sangasteshu pajayate, because of attachment to the sense objects. So, once you develop the attachment to the sense objects, no, you want to somehow get that. And what
Anger develops
happens
then,
if
yeah.
your wish is not fulfilled? You're attached, but your wish is not fulfilled, then it becomes anger. So,
Yeah.
anger. When the anger comes, what happens? The person loses his mental equilibrium, his intelligence, his memory is bewildered. He may be a CEO of the company, but when he gets angry, he may behave in such a way that he may be less than a peon of the company or a clerk because the
Exactly.
anger completely deludes him, even forgets who he is, and behave in a very cheap way. We see in the parliament how the MPs and MLA, how they start fighting. They take the shoes and they take this and they fight with each other in a very loafer way, forgetting that they were all elected members with highest dignity placed there. We know when
Yeah.
one party agitates others, how they get into commotion. Many times we have seen that, right? So we
Hmm.
see the bewilderment of memory, loss of memory. If they forget, they forgot who they are, right? So, and then the intelligence is completely deluded, and then you fall into the material pool. Therefore, we should be very careful about dealing with the sense objects. The moment, today we see so many big, big banners when we go out. Even though you have a good home, seeing the big, big banners, seeing the big, big amenities, what do we think? Okay, I will work little
We get
more
carried
harder. I
away.
will sell this home and I will buy that home so that I'll be living a more comfortable life.
Like
So you're increasing your material desires. So if you want to
desires.
go to more home, you need to work hard, you need to earn, and you need to do. That is actually increasing our mental stress. Nothing comes free, right? But
Yeah.
just seeing that we get this thing. And today the banks, they're offering you loans, personal loans to go for vacation. You may not have money because the bank is giving a personal loan at a low interest. We take it and we go, and they show the beautiful pictures and we get entangled.
Carried away.
Right. So that's very important on how to keep away from the sense object. So attachment, unfulfilled attachment leads to anger, even if it is
Hmm.
fulfilled. That's what in Bhagavatam there is a saying, if a person is not contented with what he has, Even if you give the all the three worlds, he won't be contented.
Mm.
That's what the it is said by Bali Maharaj in the not Bali Maharaj by Vamana in the when we was asking Bhiksha from Bali Maharaj in that pastime. If you are not contented, nothing will make you contented, right? So that is what it is being said because Bali Maharaj, Vamana Dev is only asking three steps, right? And Bali
Yes.
Maharaj has
Yes.
why just three steps? For that he is saying if you're not contented with what you have, you get the entire. But you know, in the three steps he covers the entire world. In fact,
The
third
entire
step, second two steps itself he covered. So third
is
step,
covered.
Bali Maharaj has to surrender himself. So that's very important. And next, that person is free from attachment and aversion. A Krishna conscious person is not attached to anybody or he is not averse. He does not despise any person because a Krishna conscious person knows that Krishna is living in everyone's heart because of their own modes of nature that is making them to behave like that. But he sees Krishna everywhere.
Mm.
Therefore, he does not have any aversion and he follows the regulative principles. That's very
Principle.
important. The four
Yeah.
regulative principles are no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, and no gambling. So, by following the regulative principles, you are free. You're free from many diseases, you're healthy. So, that itself, gives you freedom. Like
Yeah.
sometimes they say freedom means not following the rules. No, freedom is by following the rules. So when we are going in the roads, if you are following the rules, you can move freely. If you're
Correct.
breaking the rules, then you'll be put behind the bars or you'll be fined,
Exactly.
right? So, regulative principles of freedom. And we see that the same thing, whatever Krishna said, even in the second, third division, we see he is free from threefold miseries. A Krishna
Yes.
conscious person is not affected by the threefold miseries Adi
Threefold
Devi,
message.
Adi Bhautik, and Adhyatmik. And here in this 66 sloka, Krishna makes a very important point that
The
without
peace formula.
connecting to Krishna, Ayukta, there is no
Yeah.
peace. There is no
Yeah.
happiness. And without
Exactly.
happiness, there is no peace. Because a person who is not connected to Krishna cannot have steady mind. And without steady mind, there cannot be happiness. And without
Yes.
happiness, without peace, there cannot be happiness. Without steady mind, no peace. Without peace, ashantasya kutam sukha. Without peace, can there be happiness?
No.
No, we are all searching in happiness, but without peace, within the unsteady mind, nobody can be peaceful.
Yes.
So when you're not connected to Krishna, your mind is always unsteady. But when you're connected to Krishna, your mind becomes steady. So by
Peaceful.
not connecting to Krishna, nobody can be happy. That's what Krishna is saying. And then he's saying, we are trying to control our senses. Sometimes we think
Senses.
just one senses, just one ice cream, just one food. Okay, I will eat outside. I came for a kitty party. I'm meeting my friends after 20, 30 years. Like that, we go loose on one senses. That one senses can carry us away
It
from our
can.
path of bhakti. Like how when we are in the ocean, in the boat, a strong wind will distract the direction of the boat. It will take the boat in a different directions. You have boat, you have so many facilities, but just that wind can take you in a different direction. So one sense, even if one roaming senses can distract us from the path of bhakti. Therefore, we should try to
Bhakti.
keep all our senses in control.
Krishna conscious.
So the senses should be restrained from sense object. The real intelligence is keeping ourselves away from the sense object. That is the real intelligence. And in 68 sloka also Krishna gives a very beautiful analogy about day and night.
Yeah.
What is day for a materialistic person is a night for a spiritualistic person, and what is night for a spiritualistic person is a day for the
Correct.
material person. So we see that all the thing, whatever a spiritual person does, sometimes people find some sympathy on you. They think that you're Krishna conscious, you're not eating outside food, you're not doing this, you gave up everything. They think such a boring life this
Mm.
person is having. They think we are not enjoying the life. They don't
Mm.
think we are leading a book life because that is a night for them. But what do we think when we see the materialistic person? We think
We
that they
feel
are
pity for
wasting their
them.
life.
Yeah.
They are the rare human form of life is being wasted by them by indulging in sense gratification. So we both think each other to be in a different way. Today, the
And they
materialistic
still
person, they
not
sleep at
happy.
2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. But a person practicing Krishna consciousness wakes up at 3 o'clock
Correct.
and does
Yeah.
the bhakti. So, what is night and day? It is totally a different thing, which I also feel whenever I go for some marriages or some common events, when people ask me, what incidents happen in your life in such a way that you became
That
like
you
this? They
transform.
think, some tragedy happened in your life that you can't, do it, handle it on your own. Therefore, you became Krishna conscious. They think, something tragic has happened, for somebody to. Otherwise, life is to enjoy, life is to marry. And this is again talking about Krishna conscious person, like how the ocean gets the water from the river. Sometimes the ocean gets less water, sometimes the ocean gets more water. But the water keeps coming and the ocean is not agitated. The ocean level is maintained. So, similarly, the desires keep coming. Even for a Krishna conscious person, the desires keep coming. When we go out, we see the banners, we see big, big thing. It does come. We can't, close our eyes or go with the blinds, right? We are seeing everything, right? So the desires will come, but he is not affected. That is very important, right? Sometimes you get a call, you're planning on a vacation and you're thinking that, you're a little bit short of budget. Immediately at that time, you got a call from the bank, you are eligible for a customer loan without any documents or anything, immediate sanction. All you need to do is just say yes and sign. Then you will get the loan sanction. You will get 5 lakhs immediately. Then what do we, the people, do? Okay, I'm in short of money. Now the bank is giving loan. So let me take it and let me go. Right? But we are getting the same call. We don't have, okay, let it go. Let it see. It comes, but we are not affected. That is very important. And in the sloka number 7, again, Krishna is speaking about the desires. A Krishna
Yeah.
conscious person gives up all the sense of proprietorship and free from desires and devoid of false ego. False ego is thinking that I am this, I am that, I am such and such person, I belong to such and such family, I have such and such qualification. These are all our false ego. Our real ego is we are part and parcel of Krishna.
Parcel of Krishna.
False proprietorship. We think this is my home. But
Hmm.
Ishavasham idam sarvam. Everything belongs to Krishna. The sunlight, the sun works according to the direction of Krishna. Krishna is the sunlight. So without sun, there's no raw materials. If Krishna has not given any raw materials, can we even build the home? No. We can't even eat. We can't even survive without water, without food, right? Everything is given by Krishna. So when everything is given by Krishna, if I say I am the owner of this, then that is a false
False
proprietorship.
ego.
Like we are giving a piece of wood to the carpenter, and he is the one who makes a beautiful furniture. And after making, he says bye bye and he's taking the furniture with him. Will you give the furniture back to him? To him,
No.
no. He was just employed to
Yeah.
make the furniture, but the raw materials belongs to you. So similarly, everything belongs to Krishna. We are just using it. But if we think we are ours, then we are in false ego and false proprietorship. So, a Krishna conscious person will not say the home belongs to us. The Krishna conscious person, this home belongs to Krishna's home, and I am living and I am serving Krishna. That's how we should think. In our own home, we should not take proprietorship because it's Krishna is a proprietor, and we are using this particular space to serve
Serve
Krishna.
him.
And in the last sloka, Krishna is talking about the last benefit of Buddhi Yoga is to
Yeah.
enter the kingdom of the God. So it can happen at any time. Even if somebody is taking Krishna consciousness in the last hour, during the hour of death, still it is very powerful. The example given is Katvanga Maharaj. In the last, when he was helping the devatas to fight, and when he helped them to win the battlefield, the war, he was given a benediction, and he said that he wants to know how long he is going to live. When he came to know that he is just going to live for one muhurt, he can ask for a benediction to go to different planet because the time zone is different and live longer. But he didn't do that. He came back to earth, he meditated on Krishna, he left the body and went back home to Godhead. So anytime, whatever time one gets Krishna conscious, one should become, and not that one gets the liberated stage only after the leaving the body. A Krishna conscious person, Brahma Nirvana stage is obtained by a person even while living, not exactly by living, because you're not affected by threefold miseries, you're not affected by the dualities. Then being in this world, you're living in a liberated stage. That's a Krishna conscious person. He may be there like a lotus in the water pond. The water is dirty, but the lotus is unaffected by that.
Yeah.
So
It's
similarly,
beautiful.
the Krishna conscious person is already in a liberated stage while living. So thus ends the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. I hope the last section presentation was good enough for all of you to
Yes.
understand. Okay.
But why did you present Mataji? There was
Shilpa
somebody.
Mataji had some thing. She has joined work, so her work hours
Okay.
are too much. So only Sunday is the only day she has off. So she requested me that it is difficult for her. She recently joined s- working. I mean, she's
Okay.
working now. So that's why I took this thing by myself.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Mataji, I just thought anyway we started. Let's just complete the
Yeah.
presentation.
Yeah. Very nice, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji, any questions or any realizations from the second chapter? Shortly, anybody wants to say
Actually,
anything?
my realization, Mataji, while preparing the
Mm.
presentation, okay, while attending the class,
Mm-hmm.
so every week we attend the class. So when I do a presentation, I'm reading it as a
Mm.
continuous.
Yeah.
So the flow is there, and
Mm.
of course, after the classes only, I'm
Mm.
able to also link it properly, ki what we spoke.
Mm.
But the thought just
Mm.
it's a very good reading, Mataji.
Mm.
I suggest like everyone. I again have to go through the entire second
Yeah.
chapter, but
Yeah.
I suggest after this again we need to go through the second chapter because the understanding is again even more better.
Definitely, definitely. So Gita
So
is for lifetime. It's not that we read once, we are keeping it aside. We have to keep reading, keep reading, keep reading. I know one of the devotee in ISKCON, Prabhupada disciple, every day for the last 50 years, he reads one chapter of Bhagavad Gita with full
after,
translation and purport.
yeah, you told that.
Yeah, that's
You
what.
told
See,
that,
this is
Mataji.
for our own reading. That's why I'm telling Mataji, we all should keep reading and hearing. One day reading and hearing is good. We are coming in association. We have some questions. We clarify. We get some inspiration from other devotees also to do. At the same time, the airplane, as long as the airplane is in the ground, the airplane gets all the training in the ground, all the necessary. Once the airplane goes in the air, can anybody help? Nobody can help. You have to fly your own plane. So we
Yeah.
all have to fly our own plane. While we are in the ground, we get lot of training and lot of facilities. But we are giving this, we are getting this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna consciousness. Now it's up to each and every one of us. How do we imbibe this Krishna consciousness in our life and advance in devotion and go back home, back to Godhead? That this comes within us by hearing from devotees, by reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, by hearing from Prabhupada's lecture, and by chanting and by accepting Krishna Prasadam, we get that qualification, Mataji. It's a journey and it happens, you know?
But only the class helped me to understand better, Mataji. Only by reading. I don't think so. Now, if I go to the third chapter and read on my own, I don't know
Yeah.
how much I'll be able to put that into my mind
Mm,
without
mm.
without
That is
the
why,
classes.
Mataji, sometimes every time you see when I take class, I always give revision for 10-15 minutes. I'm not directly
Hmm.
going to class. If you have seen me from the beginning,
Yeah, yeah,
some
yeah,
people may think, why do I revise so much, to
yeah,
before coming to the topic. So if you see, I'm always trying to go back and come.
yeah.
So
It's really helping, Mataji.
yes,
So,
Mother. Keep reading, keep revising all those things. And more thing is implement practically the teachings of Gita. When we want to be Krishna conscious, especially the last division, speak about the symptom of a Krishna conscious
symptoms
person,
of a Krishna.
we should also imbibe that. Without
Yeah.
that, we
The
cannot call
sense.
ourselves to be in Krishna consciousness. That's very important. And it is possible. It is again depending on our willpower, on how much serious I am to go back home, back to Godhead. That's all. Like you see how people preparing for NEET, people preparing for JE, how serious they are. Correct?
Yeah.
UPS exam, how serious they are. So we are going back home, back to Godhead, to Krishna's planet, coming out of the samskara, which is so wide that you can't even see the shore. And such a ocean we are able to cross this lifetime. That means we should be serious. It's not easy.
Yeah. More
We
serious.
should be very serious. That's very important. Try to be, step by step. Everything you cannot do one time. Make a step by step incremental thing in your bhakti. Okay, for
Progress, yeah.
example, okay, I will eat prashadam. First, at least one time I will take prashadam. Next, second, two time I'll take prashadam. Next, I'll only eat Krishna prashadam. Like that, when we are engaging our tongue in Krishna service, that itself is good enough. Sevon mukho hi jigvaho. Just by utilizing our tongue in service of Krishna, one can easily advance in Krishna consciousness by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and by tasting Krishna Prasadam. These two things are the most powerful things for us to advance. The more we eat the outside food, the karmi food, the consciousness get transferred. And then, we may chant, we may do, but, we may not be able to imbibe. That's why uh, what we eat is very important.
Very important.
The consciousness gets transferred. We are eating the outside food. That person, out of frustration, he must have cooked. By eating that food, we also become frustrated.
True.
So those things we should be very careful. And it is possible. So many lifetimes we came, so many things we have eaten. One lifetime we are using it for utilizing our senses for Krishna service. Why don't we do that? Right? So these are the things where we should get serious. And we should also think about accepting the Guru. Because without getting, initiated by the Guru, it is difficult. So while we are practicing Krishna consciousness, we should also think that one day I will come to the state that I will become a disciple of a spiritual master. That will help us to go back home, back to Godhead. So these are the things that we should have in our minds. Okay, Mataji. But I'm sure in
Thanks
this
for
two
this
years, there is
opportunity,
definitely a
Mataji.
change in our
Yeah.
consciousness from where we
Yes,
are
of
and from
course.
where we now. And
Yes,
it's a
Mataji.
journey. It's a journey. Yeah. And it will keep continuing. Okay.
And
Any
thanks for this
other
presentation, Mataji.
realizations or any other questions? Anybody has? Okay. So thank you very much. Vancha Kalpatarubhya. Should we do the Narsimha prayers, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Namaste
Namaste,
Narasimhaya
Narasimhaya,
प्रह्लादलादायिने
Prahladaladayini,
हिरण्यकाशिपूर्वशः शीलटङ्कानकालायिने
Shilakalanakalayini,
हितो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा भगे नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलनयनकाम् अद्भुतलिङ्गाम् दलितहिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गाम् केशवदूता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव भक्ति विनाशक नरसिंह भगवान की जय भक्ति शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय जय प्रभुपाद की जय भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय वाचा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय हरे कृष्णा So
Thank
the
you very
next
much.
week we will continue with our third
Yeah,
chapter.
third
Meanwhile,
chapter.
all of you revise one more time the second chapter and whatever has been we discussed in the third chapter so far, because many things on the Karma Yoga is being clarified by Krishna in the third chapter for us to further deepen our knowledge on the Karma Yoga, and keep chanting and keep hearing and read Prabhupada's book and accept Krishna Prasadam. That's all. It's very simple. Devotional service is very simple. But today the simple things becomes complicated to us,
Complicated.
right? But it's actually very simple. What is the difficulty? That's what Prabhupada said. There's no difficulty. Just accepting Krishna Prasadam and chanting Krishna's name, you don't have to pay. No, anybody can chant. Is there anything that we lose? No, everything is a gain here, right? Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Sorry, we
Mataji.
went
Thank
little
you.
overtime today. I'm sorry
Thank you,
about
so
it.
Mataji. We
Yeah.
finished the chapter, no, Mataji?
Yeah. Yes,
So we
Mataji.
could
That's
finish
right.
it.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare,
Krishna.
thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.